when 8-year-old Violet handed back the wrench and said, "Your bike's fixed, mister." The Hells Angel looked down at the scar running from her temple to her jaw. "Who did that to you, kid?" he asked. 3 days later, 250 motorcycles surrounded one house in Millbrook. The man inside thought he was untouchable. He thought wrong. Millbrook, Pennsylvania. Population 3,200. The kind of town where everyone knows your name and terrible things aren't supposed to happen. But terrible things happen everywhere. On the eastern edge of town stood a small Cape Cod with peeling white paint. Inside, Violet Brennan, 8 years old, moved through the house quietly, a skill she'd learned early. Be small, be invisible, don't make noise. These were the rules of survival in the Corbett house. But there was one place where Violet didn't have to be invisible. The garage. Daniel Brennan's tools still hung on the pegboard wall. Her father had taught her the basics before he died, back when she was too young to understand she was learning anything at all. "You've got good hands, Violet," he used to say. Mechanic's hands. Her stepfather, Randall Corbett, was 42 years old, a construction foreman who seemed trustworthy to everyone in town. Behind closed doors, he was something else entirely. The abuse had started small. Raised voices, control, criticism. Then it escalated. 3 weeks ago, Violet came home with a failed math test. Randall threw his beer bottle. It shattered against her face, opening a gash from temple to jawline. At the emergency room, her mother lied. She fell off her bike. And Violet, watching her mother's desperate face and Randall's warning glare, had nodded. 7 stitches. A scar that would never fully fade. And a silence that settled over Violet like snow. Saturday afternoon, Violet walked Route 9 to the library. She heard a motorcycle sputter and die. An instinct deeper than fear pulled her back. The rider was Marcus Reaper Donovan, 47, Hells Angels Thunder Road Charter, Sergeant at Arms. His cut displayed patches marking him as someone who'd seen violence and wouldn't hesitate to see more. "You need help," Violet asked quietly. "I'm pretty good with bikes," she said. "I could take a look." In 20 minutes, this 8-year-old diagnosed a fuel pump relay failure and jury-rigged a repair with a paperclip and electrical tape. Reaper was stunned. "My dad taught me," Violet said quietly. "Before he died." As she turned to leave, the afternoon sun hit her scar. Reaper saw the angle, the freshness, the trajectory of something thrown, not fallen upon. "Who gave you that scar?" he asked. Violet froze. "I fell. Look at me." When she turned, tears welling, he said gently, "That ain't from a fall." "I can't," she whispered. "If I tell, he'll hurt my mom." "What's his name?" The silence stretched. Then, "Randall Corbett. My stepdad." Reaper pulled out his phone. The first call was to Smoke, chapter president. "We got a situation. Kid, 8 years old. Scar on her face from a broken bottle. Stepdad. Where? Millbrook. Keep her with you. We're 2 hours out. And Reaper, start making calls. I want numbers. Big numbers." Reaper made 7 calls in 15 minutes. Red alert. Child in danger. The words activated a network spanning 3 states. Hell's Angels have one rule that supersedes all others. You never hurt kids. Never. Child abusers occupy a special circle of hell in the outlaw motorcycle world. They came over the horizon like a vision. First just pinpoints of light, then dozens, scores. 250 motorcycles converged on Millbrook, parking in formation along Main Street. Thunder Road Charter, Steel City from Pittsburgh, Lake Erie from Cleveland. When a red alert goes out for a child in danger, patch politics don't matter. Sheriff Donald Pierce pulled up, hand on his holster. "Gentlemen, we need to talk." "Then do your job, Sheriff," Smoke said. "Check the records. Check the hospital visits. Tell me you don't know exactly what I'm talking about." Pierce's jaw tightened. He had been called to the Corbett house twice. Both times he'd known something was wrong. Both times he'd done nothing. "You got 1 hour," Pierce said finally. "I'm calling Child Protective Services. Keep this clean." The convoy rolled toward 47 Oakwood Drive. Inside, Randall heard the rumble, looked out the window, and saw an army of motorcycles surrounding his house. "Where's Violet?" his wife and demanded. Randall's brain made the connection. That little girl, she'd told someone. A voice over a PA system. "Randall Corbett, we need to have a conversation. Come outside." And stared at her husband. "This is about Violet. About what you did to her." "Shut up." It wasn't an accident, and said, something breaking open inside her. "You threw it. I watched you throw it." Years of suppressed anger poured out. "I should have protected her. I should have left you years ago." And walked to the front door and stepped outside into the glare of 250 headlights. For the first time in 3 years, she'd chosen her daughter over her fear. Smoke approached the porch. "Your daughter's safe. She's with good people." And sobbed. "I'm sorry. I should have stopped him. You got a chance to stop him now. That's what matters." She told him everything. The escalating abuse, the control, the bottle 3 weeks ago. "I'll get him," and said. She went back inside. For 3 minutes, the street was silent except for idling engines. Then shouting started. Finally, the door opened. Randall stumbled onto the porch, looking like a cornered animal. "You can't do this," he said desperately. Smoke stepped forward. "Here's what's going to happen. Child Protective Services is on their way. You're going to cooperate fully. And you're going to understand something. We know where you work, where you drink, your routines. If you ever go near Violet and again, we'll know. And we'll be back." Sirens approached in the distance. "That's your ride," Smoke said. "Time to face the consequences." Randall Corbett didn't go to jail that night, but something worse happened. He became known. In a town of 3,200 people, everyone now knew exactly what he was. By dawn, Child Protective Services had completed their assessment. Randall was removed, placed under restraining order, charged with child abuse and assault. As the sun rose, the bikers prepared to leave. Smoke gave Violet a leather jacket with a patch. Honorary little sister, Thunder Road Charter. Violet the mechanic. "Your family now," Smoke said. "You ever need anything, you call us. We protect our own." 6 months later, Randall was convicted. 5 years in state prison. And got a job, started therapy, rebuilt her life. Violet healed. The scar on her face was still there, but she didn't hide it anymore. "It's part of my story," she told someone who asked. But it's not the whole story. The garage became her sanctuary again. Not a hiding place, but a workshop. Reaper visited every few weeks, teaching her advanced techniques. Her dream was to become a certified Harley-Davidson mechanic. One Saturday, Violet rode a small motorcycle Reaper had rebuilt for her. She circled the driveway, confidence growing, smiling the way children are supposed to smile when they're doing something they love, and sent Reaper a photo. Violet on her motorcycle, grinning, thumbs up. Caption, "She's flying." Reaper showed Smoke. The chapter president looked at the photo, then nodded once. "Good. That's real good. Because sometimes justice doesn't come from a courtroom. Sometimes it comes from 250 engines roaring in unison, saying, 'We see you. We believe you. And we won't let them hurt you anymore.' Sometimes justice comes from a broken-down motorcycle and a little girl with grease on her hands and courage in her heart who trusted a stranger to listen. Sometimes angels wear leather, sometimes heroes ride motorcycles, and sometimes the most important thing you can do is simply believe a child who's finally brave enough to tell the truth.